Welcome, everyone. My name is Wendy, and in this presentation, I'm going to be walking you through a question that sits at the heart of how democracies actually work. And the question is, how do electoral systems shape the fortunes of new political parties? To answer it, I'll be comparing two recent insurgent parties. One is Sanseito in Japan's House of Councils election of 2022 and 2025, and Reform UK in the 2024 general election and the 2025 and 2026 local elections. Both Sanseito and Reform UK emerged from public frustration with mainstream politics and built national following through social media. Yet the electoral systems they faced produced starkly different fortunes. Japan's proportional representation smoothed Sanseito's dispersed national parliamentary seats. Then Britain's fast past the post crashed Reform UK's similarly dispersed support at Westminster in 2024, then rewarded the same kind of vote at local council level in 2025 once it had clustered geographically. The comparison reveals that a single electoral formula element applied at different magnitudes and different geographic scales can help or carve the fortunes of the very same kind of insurgent party. To make the comparison properly, we need to map the rules of the game. Table 1 sets out the five elements of electoral design for each tier in both countries. Japan's House of Councillors uses parallel voting. 74 seats come from prefectural constituencies, mostly multi member, using a plurality formula close to the single non transferable vote. Then there's the 50 seats that comes from one nationwide constituency using proportional representation with an open list. Crucially, there's no legal vote threshold to win a PR seat, only a separate 2% national vote requirement to register as a party at all. The UK, by contrast, elects its national parliament entirely through first past the post, which is the single member plurality with no proportional tier whatsoever. English local council elections use the same formula, but the contested unit is the council ward. Now, here is the key insight. Both systems use nominal ballots. Neither lets voters rank candidates or split party versus individual support. So any difference in the outcomes must come from the formula and the magnitude, not from the ballot type. So let's turn to the first case. Sanseito was founded in 2020 around the anti vaccine and anti globalist online content. Looking at the trajectory on your screen, in 2022, the party won just one seat out of 125, taken by its leader, Sohei Kamiya, through the proportional bloc. By 2025, campaigning on Japanese first platform against immigration, that jumped to 14 seats and to 15 in the chamber overall, made Sanseito the third largest party by national vote share. The decisive electoral system element here is the formula, not the magnitude of any single district. Sanseito's support is geographically dispersed, drawn from disaffected urban and suburban voters across the country, rather than concentrated in any one prefecture. Under a plurality formula, this kind of thin nationwide support would be wasted almost anywhere. In fact, Sanseito has never won a single constituency seat. It has always gained representation by, in quotes, topping up through the party list. And the proportional block, with its low effective threshold and D Holt's allocation, converts that dispersed vote share directly into seats. That is PR helping a new party. Now look at the mirror image. Reform UK in the 2024 general election won 14.3% of the national vote, its third largest share, but only 5 of 650 seats. That is 0.8%. Now let's look at the bar chart. The gap between the vote share and the seat share is enormous. Analysts describe 2024 as the most disproportional general election in British history, with close to 74% of votes cast making no difference to any seat won. Why? because just like Sanseito, UK reform support was spread thinly and evenly across constituencies rather than concentrated in a few. Under single member plurality, a party needs to place first, not merely competitive in any given seat. Evenly spread out support is punished, not rewarded. Reforms vote still mattered indirectly. By splitting the political right, it lowered the vote share Labour needed to defeat conservative incumbents, helping produce a Labour landslide majority built on only 33.7% of the national vote. That is fast past the post, curbing a new party. But here is where the story flips. Less than 12 months later, the identical fast past the post formula produced the opposite result for Reform UK at local level. Look at the two paired barrows on the screen. In 2024, 14.3% vote, 0.8% seats curbed. In 2025, 32.3% vote and 45.9% seats helped. In the May 2025 local elections, Reform won 677 council seats nationally, 41% of all the seats contested, and took outright control of 10 councils and two mayoralities. Across the 22 council analyzed in one study, Reform's seat share of 45.9% notably exceeded its vote share by 32.3%. What changed was not the formula, it was the geography of Reform's support. By 2025, its vote had concentrated in specific wards, largely in former conservative areas in the shires and their coastal towns. The 2026 local elections confirmed this pattern continuing, same formula, different geography, and opposite outcomes. So, what does this all add up to? In the Venn diagram, we see both Sanseito and Reform UK sit in the same top circle, a geographically dispersed national vote drawn from disaffected voters across the country. Neither party was a regional phenomenon. When that dispersed support met a proportional formula, Japan's national bloc in this case, it was steadily converted into seats. When the same kind of support met a single member plurality formula at UK national level, it was almost entirely wasted. And when reforms dispersed vote later clustered geographically in specific wards, the same fast past the post formula began rewarding it. The variable is not the popularity of the message, it is the fit between the shape of the party's support base and the electoral formula it meets. Our party's rational strategy is to build broad, even national name recognition because almost any vote share above a low threshold converts into seats. Sanseito did exactly that by prioritizing social media reach and nationwide local assembly chapters over concentrated ground campaigns. The rational strategy is the opposite. It concentrates resources geographically to win outright pluralities in many individual seats as possible. Voters face strong incentives towards tactical voting whenever more than two viable candidates contest a seat, because a sincere vote for a distant third party risks being wasted and may unintentionally help a disliked frontrunner win. That is precisely the dynamic that assisted Labour against a split right wing vote in 2024. Even incumbent parties respond differently. Japan's LDP must fight Sanseito for list votes nationwide, while UK conservatives can contemplate seat by seat pacts with reform. That's an option that only makes sense under a formula where geography and not national vote share decides the outcome. So let me bring this together. Three elements decide a new party's electoral fortune. First, the formula. PR absorbs dispersed national support. Plurality rewards only the local winner. Second is the magnitude. Japan's nationwide PR bloc of 50 seats lets a low vote party win, while UK single member constituencies push the effective threshold above what dispersed support can clear. Third is the geographic scale. The same fast past the post formula at national versus local scale produced opposite results for Reform UK. The electoral formula, magnitude, and geographic scale of the contest, more than the party's underlying popularity, together explains the diverging patterns of curbed and helped electoral fortune documented here. A new party's electoral fortune depends on the fit between the, the shape of its support base and the electoral system it faces. Thank you so much for listening.